I just want to do a quick video. I've had some people asking me how I go about, processing pads and things of that nature to get that big, wide, spacious sound. Essentially, what I've tried to do in Ableton Live is mimic a workflow that I had back in the day that involved the Ensoniq DP4 Plus, which was a multiprocessor. Very difficult to find now, hard to get, mine broke. And also I used a Soundtrax Topaz 24 channel board that had the famous British sweepable EQs. So what I've tried to do is recreate that essentially in a rack. Let me go through that real quick. What I have here is a sound in Diva that is nothing special, just a very simple one note that I'm playing in a 4-bar loop. And what I'll do here for the time's sake, instead of trying to figure out a chord, is I'll use my infamous David chord. Already you can see that thickens it up and makes it more interesting. Going into the rack, what I've got here is a limiter, compressor, reverb, delay, EQ8, and an auto filter, and it's all mapped to these knobs here on the push that I can use during mixdown and automate some of the parameters. So what I'll do is I'll go into the reverb first, and I'll go ahead and start bringing it in to give it some depth. Then I'll move into the delay. What I'll do in the delay is I'll go in and I'll adjust the filter to kind of hit on the transients and the frequencies that I'm looking to kind of bounce around in space. What I've done is I've offset the timer a little bit just so it's not so static and straightforward. There it makes it a little bit more interesting, gives it some more depth. What I like to do then is go into the auto filter and kind of give it some movement and automate it, within the auto filter itself, just to make it more interesting and not so static again. I'll use the phase and give it more space, and then I'll just play with the LFO, the amount, and the rate to kind of find an interesting timing to kind of put it within the spectrum where I want it. So next what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll mimic the process that I used to do manually with the frequency and the mixer, and automate that frequency sweep, or maybe do something by hand, or add an LFO, just something to make that tonal character more interesting as well. So what I can do then with this is I can take an LFO and just tie it together with this frequency and the filter, and just kind of run through that and do some automation, make it interesting, give it more character. To end it off, I'll just come into this effects chain here, the return, and what I like to do is I like to create a feedback loop within. I've got a simple audio damage reverb here that I like because it's got a lot of bloom and tail on it, and then just a simple Ableton delay that I've got the timing kind of alternating between what I've got going with the pads or anything else, just to kind of add more space and depth. So it sounds like this. This to just basically fill the gap. So I hope this helps. Let me know if there's some other stuff you want to see.